There we go. Welcome, welcome. We are Cobblestone Collective, and if you're looking for Flipgrid updates for your classroom, you are in the right place. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are excited to share, well, Jen's excited, and I'm excited because I'm also a Flipgrid user in my classroom with my students. So a lot of really great updates, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you. So my name is Tammy. I'm behind the Cobblestone Collective name. I will be in the chat for you. I will be watching for questions and anything. And I love that folks are playing with the GIFs in the chat already, which is awesome. So I'm handing it over to Jen because she's got so much to share with you. Jen, go ahead.
Thanks, Tammy. Hi, everyone. I'm sad because I can't see the chat. Microsoft Teams and I have an interesting relationship. Sort of, reminds me of high school relationships. There's a lot of like gaslighting going on. No, I'm joking. But I don't see the chat. So Tammy is going to keep me abreast of what is going on in the chat. But I'm really excited to talk to you today about Flipgrid and updates that have happened since they came out in this, when did they come out? August, I want to say. And you may or may not have seen them. You may or may not know how to use them. I've used some of them with some students in the support that I do, but we're going to get all into that in a second. So you can access the slide deck, of course, at the cc.page/FG updates 21. And I'm sure that Tammy has put that into the chat because she's a wonderful, wonderful admin and facilitator here. And I always forget at the end to thank her. So Tammy, I'm going to thank you in advance because I know you're going to be amazing because you always are. So thank you, my friend. It is being recorded, as she said, and we will be talking about Flipgrid. So my name is Jen Giffen. I'm from Richmond Hill, Ontario, which is just north of Toronto, for those of you who aren't familiar with the GTA. I come from the Williams land that's the Williams Treaties, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a teacher librarian by trade. I used to be a digital literacy consultant in our board, and I love all things EdTech. I am also a certified Flipgrid trainer. So there were a select few of us, I think there's like 20 or 25 that Flipgrid actually reached out to and asked if we would do a specialized course to get going, and it was a lot of fun, and it was like a lot of my Flipgrid people. I've been down to the Flipgrid offices twice now, I want to say. Did you go too, Tammy? Have you been down there? Oh, it's so fun. And so if you ever get a time to go down there, they're fantastic people and they do really great stuff. So I've been doing work with Flipgrid since 2017, and I became what was a Flipgrid ambassador, now student voice ambassador, and then like I'm the grid guide. I get all the badges. They have the best badging system. They're so fun, and and they let me ride a powered scooter through their office when I was scooting around Minnesota, so that worked for me too. Anyway, we're going to showcase some of the highlights that came out, but before we do that, I do want to do a bit of a land acknowledgement here because while we're all learning from different places, I affirm that we are all treaty people. Like I said, I'm on the lands of the First Nations of the Williams Treaties, and being in Montreal, Tammy is on unceded land, which I learned that Montreal was unceded land when we were prepping for this. So that was interesting. And if you don't know about unceded land, give a look into that. But it's land that comes without a treaty, in short. To honor the agreements, we will respect the relationship with the lands and recognize that our connection to the land is through continued relationship with these First Nations. We acknowledge also our shared responsibility to respect and care for the land and waters for future generation. And as always with Cobblestone Collective, we do encourage you to check out native-land.ca for more information about treaties and languages from the land that you are on or lands that you might be visiting. It's one thing I know my family likes to do. We like to use that map and look and like, oh, what's going on here? Are there any similarities? And we have those great conversations. We are contractors with Cobblestone. You can read all about Cobblestone Collective on their website, cobblestonecollective.ca. You probably get their emails. That's how you found out about this. And we would like to thank Microsoft, who are our like education global partner, training partners. Woohoo, thank you. Because of the funding that they provided, this is free. You get a Flipgrid workshop and you get a Flipgrid workshop. Everyone gets a Flipgrid workshop because of them. So thank you, Microsoft. Can you please make it so that Teams likes me? Because I feel really sad that it doesn't like me. Okay, today's plan is this. We're going to talk about the Microsoft Education Center. I always start there because I think it's a plethora of goodness. We're going to talk about live events, backdrops, music, GIFs, lenses, and the newest Flipgrid update that didn't come out in Flipgrid Live back in August, but the Canva templates. And if you're a Canva user, you're going to love this. If you're not a Canva user, I'm not only going to make you fall in love again with Flipgrid, but I'm going to make you fall in love with Canva because I love me some Canva. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Microsoft Educator Center. If you've never visited before, you can head on over there. In the slide deck, it's linked, but it'll take you here. It's called the Microsoft Educator Center, and it says it's moving and learn more. You can go. It's going to just be called the Learn Educator Center. And there's a whole bunch of resources and free courses that you can get started at learning right away. So across the top here, you'll notice that there's a thing that says training, and you can say courses or learning paths or webinars and events. So if you just go into courses, for example, you can come in. If you love free learning, and I assume you do because you're here with us right now, you can come in here and see all of these different learning opportunities. Now, listen, I work in a Google school district. I'm going to say the G word here. And so I don't do a lot with Microsoft because we can't access it. But I've taken a ton of these courses, and I've taken them because they're not about the tool. So I took one, for example, on building slide decks that I could apply when I was using Keynote or when I'm using Google Slides or when I do use PowerPoint outside of school. And they're really great. So if you were looking, for example, in here where it says Flipgrid, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of different, well, not a whole bunch, there's 8 different things about Flipgrid as well. So if you have never used Flipgrid before and you're like, oh, I don't know what she's talking about, come and check out this one, Engage and Amplify with Flipgrid, because that's their intro to Flipgrid. You'll get through it. Takes, they say, about 45 minutes. And here's the thing. You can work towards getting this badge right here where it says Certified MIE. That's the Microsoft Innovative Educator. If you do 2 hours of learning, you get the badge. And everyone loves a good badge. Like, I'm all into badging. And for doing today's workshop, you get 1 hour already. So if you do that, and then any one of those in the MEC, as I call it, the Microsoft Education Center, you get your MIE badge. So fun. So I do encourage you to put that code in to Microsoft. So you're going to head on over to the Microsoft Education Center. In order to do this, you click up on your it'll probably be your initials up here. And then you're going to say redeem achievement code. And then a little thing will pop up and you'll type it in. So what's ours, Tammy? Can you unmute and tell me? I'm going to put it in because I'm here learning. So I'm going to bank these hours. It's TEFFE
yep. 5E 21.
21. And I'm going to redeem, and you'll see what it says here. It should say in a minute that you does not match anything existing. Oh, is it because I put in it? Did I do it right? TEFFE 5E 21?
TEFFE 5E 21.
Weird. Maybe it doesn't like me. I'm going to take that out.
I will try it.
If not, we'll look into it because that is strange. And maybe I typed it wrong in the thing. Tammy can check that out for us in a second.
Yeah, I will double check.
Yeah, it could be a typo on my end. That happens. Proof that I'm not perfect. At any rate.
Yeah, so Dan checked it out and it worked for him on his end.
Oh, good. Okay,
so he copied it from the chat. So I don't know.
It's working for somebody. I may not have put in an extra E. Who knows? Whatever. It's fine. So this is what you can do. You can also in here, like I said, take some courses so that you can sort of amplify your own learning. And I love it. I would highly suggest it. We do love to have these codes in because I will tell you the reason that we get the funding from Microsoft for free for these is because when they see, oh, people are using the codes, people are attending these, the more we're able to offer. So we do encourage you, please, 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 if you like the content here today, make sure you jump into that Education Center or Educator Center rather, and enter the code so that we can continue to offer really great free PD for all the educators across Canada and elsewhere. Okay, let's move on to the main event. I'm going to tell you something right from the beginning. My computer, when I try to use any kind of tool where I have to record and broadcast at the same time, gets kind of mad at me. It uses way too much RAM. My Mac's like, please stop abusing me. It's been a long 2 years, Jen. I'm like, I'm sorry. So instead of doing what I normally do, which is I pray, I'm like, please, RAM gods, please let me be able to function today, and then risk it that I can function, and then inevitably get kicked out, and poor Tammy has to do a little song and dance while I reboot and come back in. It happens all the time. I decided to do things differently. This is the very first time I'm doing it. There is a feedback form at the end, so I'd like your feedback on whether you like it. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to demo some things that I can live, but for a lot of the stuff you can do inside Flipgrid, I actually recorded videos instead. What I love about this is twofold. Number one, you're going to be able to come back and see it again and again and again instead of like, where did she push that again? And number two, my computer won't crash, so we'll probably be able to get through more. So win-win, in my opinion. You can let me know at the end and in that feedback form if you liked it. So the first thing I want to talk about, I can actually dive into, are the Flipgrid Live events. Has anyone here ever participated in a Flipgrid Live event? What are we saying in the chat there, Tammy? Oh, Tammy's participated. Tammy, did you do the Amanda Gorman one?
I didn't, because it just didn't work. Yes, I've done it. I've done the replay, but I did Science with Sam.
Oh, fun.
Yes, it was a really good conversation about just your brain. It was really, really well done.
I love it. Okay, so everyone's like, this is great. What are you ladies talking about? So what Flipgrid Live does is they get together and for 30 minutes on one, they usually do them, I think it's a Tuesdays or Thursdays, every week of the month. They put forward, they're like, hey, we're going to interview someone. So Amanda Gorman, you may recognize that name. She was the poet laureate at Biden's inauguration. She did that, The Hill We Climb, that beautiful, beautiful poem, brought me to tears. So, so lovely. It was so powerful. And she's written a children's book, and I believe it's called When the Heart Sings. I could be getting that wrong, but we'll have a look. And do you have it, Tammy? I have it in the other room too. I could run and get it. And she came in and along with the illustrator, and she was interviewed by someone at Flipgrid, and you can send questions in ahead of time with your class, and you can watch it in real time. You can watch it afterwards. It's so fun. And it allows you to do these like virtual field trips, which is great if you're not like, oh, there we go. Change Things. That's what it's called. I knew it was Change Things. Yes. With Lauren Long is the illustrator. So in order to get to these, you can go to the Flipgrid site. And if you go to, oh no, that's not the wrong one. Sorry. You are going to go to other tab. There we go. You can go to what's linked there in the slide deck and you say Flipgrid Live events. And you're like, okay, great. So you can register for an upcoming event. They're all at 10 a.m. Pacific. So for those of us in the Eastern time zone, they're at like 1 p.m, which I love because that's like right after that, usually probably a crazy lunch recess potentially, and you can come in. For us, it's right near the beginning of, or it's right after lunch for secondary, like for my kids. And they will show you what is coming up. I love this so much. And you can also go back and check out their playlist. So if you go to their playlist, which is linked there at the bottom of this page, you will see it's going to load up in 1 second for us, but it will show you all of the ones that happened before. And you can see they range anywhere from about 30 to 50 minutes, give or take. So, there's polar bears around the world, for example. There's deserts. There's Asian mythology. I loved this one, Dive into the World of Mythology with Rick Riordan. So my own children love Percy Jackson. And he, of course, is the author of the Percy Jackson series, along with other phenomenal novels. And they interviewed him. There's a ton of stuff in here. It used to be they would have these events that they would set them up on a Flipgrid as a topic, and students could jump in. And then they became more strict on privacy around the tool for obvious reasons. We want to keep, our students safe. So this is how they present them now. So the, whales, walruses, and waves, and our coral reefs, and you name it, they have it, and they keep going back, and they're constantly looking. Like if you tweet at them, tweet at Flipgrid, you can use the hashtag Flipgrid for all. They take all the feedback that you offer, and they're like, hey, this would be a good one. And they will actually be like, hey, yeah, we did this thanks to you. And they'll give you a little shout out. It's really fun. But a lot of these align really nicely with a whole bunch of curriculum, particularly I find at elementary, and then a few of them at high school levels as well. Really great if you were doing any kind of hybrid class where you had some, asynchronous learning that the students needed to do. If you were building choice boards, these can really go there. And like I said, really accessible way to do those virtual field trips that a lot of us are doing now, because we can't go on field trips the way that we used to pre-pandemic. So I would definitely encourage you to check out Flipgrid Live and certainly their YouTube channel of their past events to see what might align with your curriculum. And we're coming up to the holidays, right? You might just want a day where you're like, yeah, let's just sit back and watch something, but you want it to be educational, not just like a random like Frosty the Snowman, which I'm showing on repeat right now in my Learning Commons, but that's another story. You can do that. So let's get into the features that were announced at Flipgrid Live back in the summer. The first one that they said was, okay, we're going to do backdrops, and people loved this. So they had frames for a long time, and you may have seen that. My favorite frame is the news broadcast frame because I love doing news broadcasts on Flipgrid. It's so much fun. The kids can get so creative. but they've done backdrops as well. And you can use ones that they have built in. They have a whole bunch of different ones. You can also upload your own, and you can even upload your own movie as a backdrop. So it can be moving behind you if you want to make it look like a crowded street and you're, again, we'll do reporter on the street. You're like, and now here I come in from blah, blah, blah. And for each of these, you'll notice at the bottom, I've offered just one idea that you might want to take with you. And I'm going to have you tries throughout this session where you're going to dive in and test things out. But one thing that I thought was an idea for this, and you're welcome to add your own one in the you tries, is have your ideas write and share a short story based on a backdrop of their choice. So they could, be a character sitting there and delivering a monologue, for example. I think that could be a really good use. So how do you use these? Okay, here's the videos I created. Let's see how these go. We'll see. Hopefully you can hear them. Tammy, just give me a thumbs up if you can. There's just music. I don't think I actually talk through any of it on purpose. Here we go. And music, no music, no music. Darn it. Do you want me to sing? Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm.
I'm sad that you can't see the chat because Dan is a great he's like a GIF searcher extraordinaire
Oh my
and is very
gosh.
active. And then we also have Mildred who's attended some of the live events and was sharing one that she did with her students, Vashti Harrison, who's the author of Little Leaders.
Yeah. I know that one. That's amazing. I'm so glad. I've attended a few of them too. It tends to fall like at 1 o'clock if it's a day that I'm not teaching. I like to pop in. Okay, I'm going to I tried to keep all of these under 1 minute. You'll notice there's 4 total that I've done. So now that I know the music doesn't actually work, what I might do is show you once. I'm going to try it this way so that you can sort of take it in. And then I'm going to walk through it and narrate it afterwards so we know. Because I think sometimes when we see it and people are clicking quickly the first time, you're like, hold on, what'd you do there? So I think a second run through of the 1 minute, that's why I kept it short, might help us. So let's have a look here. And this is how I would demo it too with students. So this is how we use Flipgrid backdrops. So there I am with my top knot, and I go down to backdrops across the bottom. I can choose to just blur my background. I can choose the like ice castle queen. I can choose this beautiful like reading room, an outside classroom. Here we go. Or I can press the plus to upload from my own device. So this shows me my computer. I can go to any photo that I have. And then I just pick this one. This is Tayasui Sketches, what I use here to sketch note. You also see at the bottom, I can move myself small to the left or to the right, and I can resize myself to fit where I want and move myself around. And that's it. That's backdrops. And if we're thinking about creative ways that students can use this, like I said, if you're, narrating a story, you'll notice on the previous slide, I put myself to make it look like I was sort of sitting behind this desk, right? And all I did was resize myself and move myself on the screen. So this is something students can do. You could even have them have it in collaboration with an art project where they might draw backgrounds, and then they walk through and they become the characters in their stories. So you can do partnerships with an art teacher, for example, if you don't teach art yourself, which I think could be a lot of fun. So that is Flipgrid backdrops. Let's move on to music in Flipgrid. Now this feature is on the page where you preview your video. So if you've used Flipgrid before, what you'll know is when you go into the Flipgrid recorder, it will open up and you do all your recordings, like where you hit backdrop and all that, and you're all good to go. And then when you hit next, it's going to preview everything that you have done so far. And it's when you hit that next is where you're going to find all the music. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take off my AirPods here. I'm going to unpair them. There we go. Can you still hear me? Well, I'm sure you can still hear me okay. Tammy, do you mind just saying hello to me to make sure I can still hear you?
Yes, we can still hear you.
Nope, you're still in my AirPods. Okay, I'm going to do this. I want to try to get rid of them altogether because I want you to be able to hear the changing of the music in this. Now, if worse comes to worse, you can just jump into the slide deck on your own, but we will see what we can do here. So this, you know what? You know why it's doing this? Oh, there we go. You're back.
was going to say the other option is in the three dots. The wait, there's okay. You're good.
I had put them on my desk, my AirPods, but I need to put them back in the case. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do some like Flipgrid music. One thing that I think would be really cool is to have students do a story read aloud. This is the teacher librarian, and you could do one part of a video per page and have students pick music that suits the mood or the tone of each page. So they'd really have to think about, okay, I'm going to listen to this one. Does it fit what it's saying? And you can't at this moment upload your own music. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with copyright, but here is how you do it. Well, again, we'll do you'll hear the music hopefully this time. And you'll see how to do it, and then I'll walk you through it one more time. Okay, let it load up. Here we go. Can you hear it? Well, that's good, right? Tammy liked that one. And it is that easy. So I'm going to show it one more time. I'm just going to turn it down slightly as I play it the second time through here. What you will notice is I've recorded. So here's a speed up of me recording. I hit next and I click that music at the top. All the music shows up, and you'll notice that at the top too, there's filters like chill, fun, energetic. When I hit that play button, it will give me a preview. So I can preview a whole bunch. And then when I find one that I actually like, I'm going to head over to the white plus button, and that will add to that video. Okay, and then I can hit at the top. It'll say which one I chose, and I can play with that slider because sometimes we want it to be loud. But if we're doing like a voiceover where we're doing that story read aloud, we don't want really loud music because you won't hear my voice, right? You want to put that down, and that's another thing about production and those choices and that creator, the consumer to creator for our students that we want to do. Tammy, how's our chat looking? All good? Okay,
we're good. Dan is still happily sharing, and Mildred as well. So. And everybody else is quiet, so they hopefully are tinkering away and just sitting back and learning.
Beautiful. So I'm going to give you time to explore yourself. Now, I don't like to go too long on this because some people might be like, no, I just want to get through it. So if you feel rushed, by all means, this is being recorded. The recording will be sent to you. If you want to dive into this and play more and you want to skip the next section, you can and then come back and watch it. If you just want to like sit and wait for your next, little show here from me, that's fine too. But I have two things you can do in this. You can either explore upcoming or past Flipgrid Live events, and maybe even give them a follow on Twitter at Flipgrid. Or play with those backdrops, try uploading your own if you want, record a video, and then add some music. And I've created a topic just to let you know. It is here. It's when you click on, I'm sure Tammy has put the link in the chat there for you. You're going to click on and join with Google or Microsoft, and you're going to come into a topic that looks like, oh, it's going to ask me to jump in here. I've cross-contaminated my accounts accidentally, so not happy with myself. I gotta rectify that tomorrow. I did that. I was like, oh, it's this one. I typed it. I was like, what did I just do? Why am I doing this? Anyway, it'll come in here in a second. There we go. And you will land on a grid, or sorry, rather, I'm using old terminology, a topic that looks like this. So what you'll see here is you can go to add response and you can add your response. Now, the one thing I want you to know is this is a moderated grid, meaning that as soon as you get into this topic, your posts, like I have mine too here, yours will not show. I keep them hidden. There's a variety of reasons that I don't need to get into as to why. Mostly it's because we're not in the same domain. So by default, they're hidden. But I'm going to keep them hidden because I want you to go in there and play and not worry like other people are going to see me. It will only be available to me and I will not be watching them. It's just to allow you to have a sandbox to play in. So if you don't have your own Flipgrid yet, or you just want to try it out and not have to worry about creating your own topic, feel free to add to mine here. And Tammy has, I'm sure, put that link in the chat. So check out Flipgrid Live, follow on Twitter, play with some backdrops, add some music, jump into my topic if you want to play around and you don't want to build your own. All right. The other thing you could be doing now is also that Microsoft Education Center, going in and maybe looking at some of those courses that you might want to take, especially if you're newer to Flipgrid, or if you're like, well, these are cool. Is there anything else? There's a Flipgrid 2.0 in there as well. And discovering the Disco library, which is like my favorite thing in Flipgrid. And if you don't know what Discovery is, you got to go check out that course in the Education Center or Educator Center.
So we do have a question here from Cyril. If people are not in this, Cyril is, if people are not in the same domain, they have to sign in. Yes.
Yeah, no matter what
for
people
this
need
topic.
to sign. Yeah, for this topic, for any topic, anytime you come into any topic in Flipgrid, it's going to ask you to sign in. And the way that Flipgrid works is you set it up according to how you want your sign-ins to happen. So generally you would use school accounts. So I would put at gaps.wiredsb.ca because those are our Google handles. You might put at peel.sb.org or something, I think it is, Cyril and Peel. You would enter those. So if we wanted to collaborate with our two classes, we would need to make sure that all of those domains are in there when you're setting up.
With my class, just outside, like with an outside. So people, I had some problems setting up for external.
So what you would need to do is you would need to go into the community settings of Flipgrid. So not the topic itself, but the like overarching where that topic sits.
God. Yeah.
And then you would add, so if you wanted to collaborate with York, let's say, then you would add our domain in there, or you could add just generally Gmail, although we do advise against that for privacy reasons, because then anyone could get in. But one of the things they do, even if you create a topic that they used to have the ones that were open to everyone. That's how I have this one. That there's rumors that's coming back. I may have been part of a call to preview some changes about what might be happening on the horizon. I know that's a big thing that people are asking. Like, we don't want it to be that no one can see what we're posting. We want it to be that, we can collaborate more easily, but keeping students safe. So there is something on the roadmap, but I can't reveal that yet. It will hopefully be revealed in the next couple of weeks. So follow Twitter and check out like blog.flipgrid.com because they share everything there.
Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome. Okay. So I'm going to give another 1 minute. My clock showing 8:29. I'm going to wait till 8:30. Then we'll move ahead. I'm also talking through all these recordings, which is another problem when we're demoing Flipgrid, right? Especially virtually.
But folks can pause. I always say that. You can always pause.
That's true.
Oh, Dan's inviting you to look at his video.
Oh, should I put it up on the screen?
I'll wait for his okay for like yes, you could.
Okay, so let me go in here. I've got to go. I will log into my Flipgrid in the background.
It's the best one you've ever seen, says Dan.
Oh gosh, is it appropriate?
I'm like heart palpitations. Like, what's going on? Oh no,
okay.
It's appropriate.
Okay, good. Let's give it a look here. So I'm for those of you who are brand new to Flipgrid, when you log in, no student needs an account. They just need a Microsoft account or a Google account to log in. In order to create communities and create topics, you need to create a teacher account. So students will never need accounts, and you need an account when you're creating only. If you're only contributing, you never need to worry about it. So I'm going to come into my new features. This is what it looks like in the background. It'll show you your topics. So I'll go into the one that we have. You'll notice that there are these ones that are hidden. And then here's Daniel. What's he saying? Okay, here we go. Yes, he's learned how to do the GIFs, and we're going to get there. We're going to totally get there. That is a really funny one. I like that. Thanks for that laugh. Okay, that leads us to our next thing, which is, what a great segue, GIFs. If you're wondering, how on earth did Dan make his face look like Dwight Schrute from The Office like this? That's actually a really good one. It almost fits, other than you can kind of see your head around it. It's really funny. You can add GIFs with a hard G. It's a hard G, not soft G, because my last name is Giffen, not Jiffin, and I take issue with the soft G, but whatever. That's another workshop. They can be added to any Flipgrid video. So one thing that I saw that I really liked was have students find a GIF of a workout of some sort, like someone doing push-ups, a GIF of push-ups, a GIF of jumping jacks, and do it along with the GIF, and then post it. So all students, when it comes time, like we have DPA, right? Like daily physical activity, or as my kids call it, APQ, because they go to French school and it stands for something else that I don't even know when I speak French. So who knows? So when they have their daily physical activity, if you're stuck inside, if it's really cold, if it's raining, if students have all contributed, we can be like, okay, let's watch our grid, give them, 30 seconds. They have to find the GIF. They do whatever exercise the GIF is doing at the same time. And then the whole class watches those and does it along with the student who's leading. So each of the students basically leads one of the activities virtually that they've done at another time. You might even be able to share this school-wide, so they could be like, hey, that's my brother, that's my neighbor, that's my cousin. I think it would be super fun. So how do we do this? Well, again, we have a short little video here to watch. We'll watch once, and then I'll go through it with you. So as you can see in the video, there's a cameo performance by my very big cat, Chex. He was named after the cereal, but now we call him Chubby Checkers because he's ginormous. But he was sitting behind me and I thought, okay, we'll do this. Let's put a cat in. So first I put effects, and then I clicked the GIF button. And this is in the recorder. And then I entered my search term, which in my case was cat. And I can search through. This is how Dwight Schrute was found. I can move him over, and I can resize. This is my oldest kid who's totally obsessed with cats, his favorite GIF, so that's why I picked it. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with the exercise one that I said, but it is how you do that. And that's exactly how the Dwight Schrute cameo appearance was also done here. Let's go back and watch dance. Is he would have taken Dwight's head, put it over top of where his face is, and then resized so that it covered completely. And like, imagine this, if you wanted to do different characters from a favorite show and there were GIFs about them, the creativity that our students can do. Like I'm thinking like last day of school, kind of fun. This could be like really good, right? Holiday themed or not. So that is how you use GIFs. It's really quite simple. If you've used stickers before in Flipgrid or imported your own photos as stickers, it works pretty much the exact same way, except you just click GIF. The other new thing is lenses. Now I'm gonna do a little like bragging here, but when Flipgrid did its launch, they reached out to a bunch of ambassadors and said, "Hey, would you be willing to read one of the lines of this poem that we have?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And we got to see lenses probably about 3 weeks before other people. And then I got to be, my little clip was selected and to be part of the big video. So when we were watching the big Flipgrid thing, I was like, that's me. I was very excited. So Flipgrid Lenses works if you have Snapchat or you have, like, if you've ever used lenses or filters on Instagram or on TikTok, they work the same way. Now, I will tell you something. Years of 2017, 2018, Charlie Miller, the creator and CEO of Flipgrid, he actually said at one point, I'm not putting these on. I'm not going to. And he swore up and down that Flipgrid would never have this. And they have them. So I cannot wait to see Charlie somewhere again and be like, whatever happened to when you said? Because he's like, I don't want it to turn into something like Snapchat. So there must have been so much feedback from teachers for engagement for students that they've decided to include it. I think they're a lot of fun. I think students can do really great things. We had we have our co-op department at school, and last year, because all of our interviews are being done virtually, they literally sat and asked the kids the same 3 questions, and the kids on the spot were like, oh, and they noticed that students who had their co-op interviews earlier in the cycle, in the 2-week cycle, weren't as prepared, and then the kids who were later in the cycles were very prepared because their friends told them, oh yeah, I had those same questions. They noticed the same things. So the co-op department came to me this year and said, can you help us? We're thinking of using Flipgrid to do them instead. So every student had access to all of the questions ahead of time. They created a topic and shared it out with the students and said, here are your 3 questions, go. And some of these students, what they could create, because I ran a little like tutorial for them in the library, it was 40 minutes maybe. And I said, here's how you do it. We recorded it. We sent it out to them. And we showed them lenses. We showed them backdrops. And we had one girl who wants to be a lawyer. And she was so good. She's like, and where, because, and you might be asking why, where I see myself in 5 years. Well, I'll tell you. And she went like this. And as she snapped, all of a sudden it turned into a courtroom behind her. Like she'd got that like full, and it was so good. She's like, and why do I want to be a lawyer? Because, and she started putting pictures up from her past and things that she's done. It was so creative. And she also, I forget what the name of the lens is, but she used one of the lenses to sort of take over it and like set the mood and tone. And it was, she just used every feature without being silly. And it was so, so good and creative. And given some time, students really explore it and can come up with things that we never even imagined. And I know that Journée Armand, who is one of the engagement educators at Flipgrid, she works for Flipgrid. She was the first educator to work for them. Do you know Journée, Tammy? She's lovely. I call her Rumi. We room together at the Google Innovator Academy. Yeah. She's phenomenal. And she always says, if you can dream it, you can Flipgrid it. Like anything that you think of, you can do in this tool. Anyway, what are lenses? Lenses, much like we have seen in all those social media tools, are sort of, it's an AR effect that happens on the Flipgrid camera. And lenses only works on mobile. Okay, at this point, you cannot do it on the computer, or at least I've looked and looked and like, I swear I thought you could do it on the computer. I have not been able to find it. Every example I've ever seen has been mobile, but I've never, it is.
Wait,
yeah.
Dan just said, I just did it on the computer. Open
You
mine.
did. Tell us how you found them, because I cannot for the life. I've only seen examples on mobile. But I'm like, I'm sure you can do this and I can't figure it out. So I love this.
Dan.
Yes, Dan.
So I'm using a Windows computer and I just hit the effects button and then the lenses were in there.
Were they? Okay, I'm going to check. I'm going to check when we have a U try, because mine were not. Although that said, Flipgrid loves to roll things out sort of, and surprise, there it is. So it might be that when I recorded this Friday night, because this is how I spend my Friday nights, they weren't there and now they're there, because I know they were rolling out slowly. They've been on mobile for a bit. And I was like, why aren't I seeing them? Like, you should see them. I'm like, I don't see them. But anyway, okay, good. So thanks.
And you can preview my horrible video that I uploaded to you as well.
Can't wait. All right. So one thing that I would say that we can do with lenses is that SEL check-in. Prompt your students to share their mood at the beginning of the day or as a Friday reflection by picking a filter that matches how they're feeling. Because sometimes that visual can work more than those words. So how do you use lenses? And this example is from my mobile. So here you go. This is how you do it on mobile, but I'm gonna see if I can jump in and try it the other way. This music is so catchy. So I don't know that I need to preview that one again, but essentially when you're in the recorder, you go to effects. The lenses is one of your options, and there's little circles and you can just scroll through them. And as you tap them, it's applied. And if you click the X over top, it goes away. Super, super easy thing to do. I'm going to, do I want to, I'm going to let you play now. So I'm going to go ahead. Can we? And yeah, I'm going to, oh no, there, I skipped it. That's why. So I'm going to invite you to play with GIFs on your computer, or jump into mobile and check out lenses, or prove Dan right that you can do it on the computer, because that's what I'm going to do right now too. Remember, the videos that you post are for my eyes only. We won't share them unless you give me permission, but I'm going to jump in and see if I have effects. So I'm on a Mac. While you play, I will play.
I had way less effects than you showed off there in the video.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so maybe it's that. Yeah, see, it's gonna freak out my computer here in a second. I don't know if I want to do it. I might wait and try it afterwards. Right, because Tammy, we don't want to lose me in the last little bit. This is what happens. So there are more, according to Dan. It's a good thing Dan came. God bless Dan. That we can access from mobile. But if you're getting them on your desktop, please let me know, because I would also like to hear from more people about that. That's great. Nope, this one. I'm going to go back to this. How's that chat doing there, Tammy?
Great.
Awesome.
No questions at the moment. I'm playing also in, I don't have any of the effects that we just saw. I'm on my desktop.
And you're also on a Mac.
Yeah.
It's different for each. Well, anyway. Okay, yeah, this is good. So it's like, look, he's like Steve from Minecraft, and he's dancing. These are amazing. I'm going to totally use these. Dan, you're coming soon to a training near you. Starring Dan. Oh yeah, see, my computer did slow down. It's there. When I go to effects, don't freeze. When I go to effects, yeah, I don't have lenses. I have frames, photos, GIFs, stickers, board, pen. No lenses, pour moi. So hopefully it's rolling out to Apple. But it definitely does work on your mobile, because obviously that's where I did all that stuff. Give another minute or two for you to play with GIFs. Check out some lenses if you're on your mobile. If you're on mobile and you want to join my my Played With grid that I have up there, all you need to do is enter the last few letters here. This is the join code. If you have the Flipgrid app and you want to try, it's 80BAF 95B. When you go on, it'll ask for a join code, and that's the one you want to enter. For those watching along afterwards, you can do that too.
So Jen, coach me through where the lenses are.
Okay, so when you are on your mobile device and you open Flipgrid, I'm opening it to let you.
Oh, there, I found it.
Oh, good. So I'm going to just go into any one of mine here. I'm going to add a video. I'm going to add a response, and you will see, start new session. What you will see if you're looking, hold on, I'm going to turn off. I don't know if I can. We'll do it. No. As soon as you go into the recorder and you see yourself, there's a little happy face right beside the button that you would tap to record. And if you click that happy face, all of your filters will pop up for you. Super fun. You can do both. I like the one that I'm in the video one is the one where you have like the half neon face. My favorite one is probably the on air. I like that one.
I'm looking for on air. I was just in scarf face. And I love my hair comes up on top of the toque. It's like the perfect top.
I love
crazy
it.
Hair. Yes, it's
so
I took a screenshot.
Some of them too, it'll say tap the screen to change or for more options. And the toque one with the big scarf, it can give you sort of a very wintry or a very fall background, because they want to honor that some areas their winter is slightly different, right? Or totally
That's fantastic.
Different. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to our last part, and we have about 15 minutes to do it, which is good because I have a longer-ish video to show, because Canva recently partnered with Flipgrid. And let me tell you, Canva is amazing. If you've never used how many of you used Canva? Tell us in the chat. Do you use Canva? Yes or no? Tell me what they're saying there, Tammy, because Teams.
I love Canva.
It's the bomb.com.
Yes.
Are people using it?
I try not to. Yes, but not often.
Okay.
From Anna. So yeah, you're gonna start using Canva more and more. And I'm hoping that everybody knows about what Jen is going to tell you about right now. I won't.
Boom. Yes. If you've used Canva before and you're like, oh, it's good, but it's really limited, it's because you're not doing it right. There is a link here in the slide deck, which I'm sure Tammy's going to plop right now into the chat, and it gives you access to the free education version, or the educator version of Canva. And all those times that you log in and you might see that little crown that says Pro, When you unlock education, all of those crowns become sort of different. They become this like EDU symbol. I think it's a book or something. And you have access to everything. Canva has made it free for educators. And your students don't need to create their own accounts. What they do is log in to Canva and then come into you invite them to your classroom, and then they get access to all that free stuff as well to create. And they make it very, like, when you go into Canva regular, it's like very like social media and advertising and this and that. But when you go into for education, and I'm going to flip over to my education account right now, what you'll see is it becomes things like, oh, okay, presentations and videos and things like this. It's going to say like educational this and classroom poster and Google Classroom header that you might want to use, which is pretty awesome, right? So what you can do in here now is you can come in and just type the word Flipgrid. Okay, here's Flipgrid. And it will load up a whole bunch of templates that they've created specifically for Flipgrid. So if you're using Flipgrid on your mobile, you'd want to choose these ones that are more like portrait. And if you're using Flipgrid, if your students are using Flipgrid on their computers, they want these landscape ones, but they can open these and then customize however they want. So I was going to create a video, and then I was like, I don't know that I want to create a full video, because my friend Scott Nunez has actually already done this. They did a really big Flipgrid sort of reveal with this Canva, and he walks through in like 5 minutes how you can use this. And I figured, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel when he's here with the Flipgrid people, with the Canva people, and they're all talking about it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of this video.
So Canva for Education is free for K through. It's literally on my contract. When I saw that, I was stoked. And it's so easy to use. So once you have an account and you're logged into Canva for Education, your screen will look like this. And so a great place to start, especially if you're looking to collab and app smash with Flipgrid, is just come to the search bar. You can see I've already searched Flipgrid here. Go ahead, type that in, and you'll start getting our templates here. I'm going to go back just for a moment and actually type it out, because there are two different types. So if you are on a desktop and you type in Flipgrid, you'll select the landscape. And so this will be the nice rectangular shape. However, if you are on mobile, then you'll select the portrait backdrops. And there are some things you can do on the desktop version with the portrait stuff if you get really creative. So all of you super like ed tech architects, I'm throwing a design challenge out to you. I want to see how you use the portrait mode on desktop. But for our purposes today, I'm just going to go to landscape. I'm going to quickly scroll through some of these so you can see the 130 templates that we have for this partnership. It's amazing. We have things that are geared for elementary, middle school, high school, and content specific. There's so many things. I'm going to go ahead and just pick a few here and show you how easy it is to download this and then re-upload it in Flipgrid. So once you have a template you like, something like this, you'll just come over to the download button, select download, and you can select your file type. I recommend sticking with a PNG. The default settings are fine. And go ahead and make sure everything is unchecked here. We really don't want to compress it, because that will make the image turn out a little pixelated. And I'm going to go ahead and...
Scott, as you click download, it's that simple. Like literally launch Canva, search Flipgrid, scroll through the entire database. When you find what you like, just click download. It's as easy as saving it. And that's what he's demonstrating right now. You haven't created yet. You've not done anything. You've just used the gorgeous templates that already exist as is. And there's so many possibilities. So I just wanted to make sure folks knew that's it. Go in, find something, and save. That can be it in its simplest form. But of course, there's so much more.
So much more. Thanks for pointing that out. And really, once you get used to this and the workflow of this, you can do this in less than a minute. I kid you not. Once you're logged in, you just go type in Flipgrid, scroll for the one you want, open it up, hit this download button, and then in another tab, go ahead and open up Flipgrid. I'm in the Flipgrid Shorts, and go ahead and select Backdrop. And rather than selecting one of the great templates that Flipgrid has ready to go, you'll go ahead and select this plus button to use photo or video. So I have some that I've already pre-selected. I'm going to go ahead and go with this nice one right here, and there you go. So if you don't have a black chair like myself that blends in with your headphones, your head will be a little bit better, but you're ready to go. And then all you have to do is hit record. 3 seconds later, you're ready. Hey everyone, I'm Scott Nunes. I am super pumped for this collab with Flipgrid and Canva. I did this in just a matter of seconds, and you can too. And then go ahead and hit next. Verify you have what you want. You can take a selfie if you want.
I'm going to pause there because I think you get the idea. But everything in Canva is so easy to adapt to your own needs. You can change colors really easily. You can add elements. You can take elements away. And I'm always amazed at what students do. For me, I call Canva, it's the design tool for the non-designer. Right? I love the look of these, but I can't think of them from scratch. But when given that little bit and then to be able to compare and be like, oh, I can add this, I can add this. And the more I use it, the better I become. And when you start with this, even something with Flipgrid and start that app smash, I'm thinking, okay, you've already used Canva, and so you have this as part of your introduction to Flipgrid, or vice versa. We've been using Flipgrid, so now let's introduce Canva. We can have all these really wonderful, rich tools introduced to students with some really great scaffolding, right? It's really, really fantastic. I think we maybe just lost my mic for a second because it just popped out. And are we back on your voice last time, or did you lose me altogether, Tammy?
No, okay. We lost your mic, and then when you plugged it in, it just took some time to think, and now we can hear you.
Okay, good. I'm back. So did you hear any of that beforehand? Did it go to my internal mic?
I went to your internal mic, but it's fine.
Good.
It's good. We did hear. It was just the reconnecting that we lost you for a quick second.
Good.
And
okay.
Yeah, and Dan heard it. So good. Thanks, Dan.
Amazing. So if you want to check out the full App Smash tutorial, it is here. It's about an hour long. If you're like me, it's 30 minutes long because I watch it all in double time, because that's how I roll. But I would like you to try it. So head on over to Canva and explore that Flipgrid landscape or portrait. Pick one and customize it. Try it in my Flipgrid if you want. Feel free to use that topic. You can also use this time to dive in and apply for that Educator account. I will tell you it takes about 24 hours to actually kick in. And if it takes any longer than that, reach out to them on social media. That's what I did. I DM'd them and I said, hey, listen, I applied for this and I nothing happened. And they're like, oh, sorry. You sort of like, I think they're getting a lot, or at least they were when I applied. And this is, oh gosh, well over a year ago. So that's that quiet nudge, or that gentle Canadian nudge that will give it like, hi, just wondering, can really help. So don't feel like you're a nuisance if you're doing that. I think that sometimes things might get lost in the shuffle. I've had a few people that it comes through really easily, and other people with the nudge it's come. I think you need to provide some proof of being an actual teacher, like a copy.
Yeah, you do.
A copy of your staff card for that year or something like that. You can send that in, but they take a lot of different things, I know. So while you play, I'm also going to play, and I might. If you're not in the mood for play, you can just watch.
Oh, so I love it. Dan is just finishing his BEd and applied with his Google Educator certificate as proof.
Oh.
I just took a redacted paycheck because I was like, I don't know where my teaching license. They want a teaching license. I was like,
oh. Also, for those of us in Ontario, you could just download your OCT certification from the OCT website. That would work. I think did we find out where everyone was from? I feel like a lot were saying they were from.
No,
or was
we
that
didn't.
Grades? No, we didn't.
But yeah, just
Throw
drop
in the
it in the
chat.
chat.
That's
Yeah, we're curious. Where are you joining us from?
Okay, I'm gonna.
I'm from the unceded lands of the Kanyahaga, which is known colonized today as Montreal.
Okay, I'm gonna open this up. The one thing I love about Canva is how when you change one color, it will change all of them. Like, oh, I want to take this element, like these stars. Will it do it with the stars? Yeah, this star. I want to change this star instead to this red color and change the one. But look, see down here, down here at the bottom, I can click change all. Boom. Everything that was that color changes. What?
No, this is new to me.
Bang.
And I'm like a hardcore Canva user. Because I like to pretend I'm secretly a graphic designer.
Yes.
Wakefield, Quebec. Whoop whoop. Betsy's in my province.
Oh, yay, Quebec.
Wakefield
and
or Wakefield? Wakefield, I'm thinking. I think it's a slip of the finger on the keyboard.
I'm going to change this one now too. I'm going to change this to like a different color here. I'm going to change it to like a light pink. And again, you miss it, I think, Tammy, because it's down under the colors. It just sort of pops up. It's pretty discreet. Change all. Boom. Now they've all changed. It's just so fun to me. It's just, there's so much stuff to do. Even these people, look, this is the other thing I love. They're all vector images. So if you're like, yeah, I don't want them wearing red ties. I want them wearing purple ties. Change them all. Boom. Now her hair thing is purple as well. Right. You can change so much, and it's not really all that beautiful, but whatever. We can do this. This is different ways.
Beautiful workflow.
Yeah. It's so good. Okay. I'm noticing that the time is 8:57. So I do want to leave some time for questions, which I never do in a Flipgrid. I would love to hear if you liked the video aspects in it instead of the live demo, just to help with time. I liked it as a presenter. I found it far less stressful. Tammy, what did you think? You've seen me do Flipgrid a number of times. You've been my partner, and thank you for all your help. I did remember this time. What do you think? The video is effective?
I love the videos, and I love the fact, well, this is recorded, but it's also, folks can go on and, depending on your browser, just opening up all of the tabs with all of your videos and just go back to it. So I like the reach back and go. Yeah. I have one question though from Dan about in Canva, can you change skin color? And I believe it's a yes.
I believe it's a yes too. Let's go in here. So if I go back to the one that I was working on, which is not in that tab, I don't like that they do that they open the other tab. So here I am. It looks like this is their skin color. So if I was going to say that my skin color instead is darker than that. Let's go into like that's not really authentic. Oh no, that's not his skin. See, it's changing. It's his sweater there. So that's not his skin. So let's try this. Is it this one here? And notice I can choose any color I want here. Yep, there we go.
Yay!
Perfect. There we go. So I can change his skin color so that we can be representative. I love it. Of either who we are or the people we're around.
Yeah. Betsy says that she likes both. So live demo and video.
Oh, good. Awesome.
And Dan said, oh yeah, see, Dan says I'm going to go back and check out the videos on my own. I've subscribed to your channel.
Oh, thanks, Dan. I don't post a lot. A lot of them are private. I should really, this one now, those 4, I'm going to, did I release them unlisted? No, they're there. They're unlisted. And they're in a playlist called Flipgrid that I decided to start. I'm doing more videos. I'm finding that, especially quick ones. I'm doing these like quick, like under 2 minute, under 1 minute, that we can like that micro learning, very TikTok of me. But anyway, so that ends our hour together, my friends. I wish you the happiest of holidays. Merry Christmas to those who are celebrating. Happy relaxing to all of us who have some time off. Happy New Year. 2020 or 2021 went crazy fast. Can you believe that we're almost in 2022? Who knew? But hopefully you have some rest and good health and some time with some family and loved ones. There is a feedback form there at cobblestonecollective.ca/feedback. We would love to hear your feedback, and I do read all of it to improve. There's continued support. I'm doing all your stuff here, Tammy. I took over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm good with it. It's okay. And we almost in sync. We to drop the link as you were saying it. So yes, if you have feedback for us, we're here for it. We would love to hear from you. And if as you're going through, if you're watching this later and you're like, wait, that didn't work, feel free to email us at help@cobblestonecollective.ca. There's a human behind that help email, and they will troubleshoot for you, with you, and not give up until they have an answer. Jump on in, do the feedback, email us. If you stumble anywhere, I'm going to stop the recording. So if there's folks that want to come on and ask questions, we're here for it. So I'll stop the recording, and then you can be less camera shy.